Look, if you're a small business owner, you probably haven't slept a full, uninterrupted 8 hours since, 2023? Between managing clients, putting out daily fires, and just trying to figure out your next marketing move, there's literally never enough time in the day. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into how you can actually get your time back. We're going to explore how to build a tireless, totally free, 24/7, invisible workforce to scale your small business in 2026. Whether you're a freelancer running a local shop, the landscape has completely shifted. AI isn't just a gimmick anymore, it's the fundamental engine for modern productivity. We're going to break down 10 essential, absolutely game-changing tools that are transforming how we think about time, money, and growth.
So what if you had a team working 24/7, like a flawless team that never gets tired, never calls in sick, and never misses a single deadline? Imagine running your operation in a way that effortlessly saves you dozens of hours every single week, and doing it without adding a dime to payroll. Think about what you could do with all that extra time. You could focus purely on high-level strategy, scaling up, or, maybe just making it home in time for dinner. And the absolute craziest part of what we're exploring today is that the vast majority of these powerful systems are completely free to start. Let's break down exactly how to implement this invisible workforce, starting right with your day-to-day tasks.
First up, managing your daily business operations. We like to call this part the invisible admins. We all remember the old way of doing things, right? You're sitting there at 8 p.m. agonizing over one simple email to a difficult client while a literal mountain of data entry waits for you. It's exhausting. But in 2026, we're replacing all that tedious effort with instant execution. Instead of staring at a blank screen, ChatGPT acts as your brilliant business assistant. It can generate entire marketing campaigns, structured proposals, and blog posts in minutes. And hey, if your business lives in the Google ecosystem, you've got Google Gemini. Gemini is this incredibly smart companion living right inside your workspace. It instantly summarizes chaotic email threads, organizes your messy docs, and perfectly formats your Google Sheets so you never have to manually crunch those numbers again.
Think about your computer desktop right now. If it's anything like most entrepreneurs, it's basically a graveyard of scattered sticky notes, half-finished project plans, and brilliant ideas you completely forgot about. Well, Notion AI acts as your ultimate knowledge manager to instantly turn that chaos into clarity. It seamlessly organizes everything and automatically summarizes your weekly meeting notes, tracks deliverables, and keeps your whole team perfectly aligned without you having to play traffic cop. You'll literally never have to ask, wait, where did I put that file ever again?
All right, moving on to mastering research and data. This is where we get into the heavy lifting. 100. Just pause for a second. Think about the absolute dread that number brings when it's attached to a PDF document. Imagine getting a massive 100-page contract or a super dense industry report. In the past, that meant locking yourself in a room for days, chugging coffee, and paying for hours of manual review just to understand the basics. It was a huge, expensive bottleneck.
But that is exactly where a tool called Claude steps in. It's perfectly engineered for those massive, intimidating documents. You don't have to skim every page anymore. You just drag and drop the file right into Claude, and within seconds, it summarizes the absolute key points. You can even literally have a conversation with your document. Ask it highly specific things like, hey, are there any hidden termination fees here? Or what are the main compliance risks? And it gives you the exact answer instantly, pointing right to the relevant section. It's an absolute game changer for moving fast. Now, when you need to pivot from internal documents to external market research, you turn to Perplexity AI. Think of Perplexity as your hyper-speed, hyper-accurate researcher. Need to know what your main competitors are up to this quarter? It combines AI with live real-time web research to give you beautifully summarized answers on industry trends. And because acting on hallucinated AI data in business is a very costly mistake, Perplexity actually backs up its answers with reliable, clickable sources. You always know exactly where the data came from, so your strategy is built on solid ground.
Next up is designing your brand identity. Let's call this the creative climax.
Historically, achieving a premium, professional brand look meant shelling out a massive budget. Small businesses used to have to scrape together thousands of dollars to hire graphic design agencies and audio engineers just to look credible. But today, when you leverage platforms like Canva AI and ElevenLabs, that enormous cost drops to literally zero. You're getting top-tier, agency-level output without the agency-level price tag. It instantly levels the playing field with a massive corporation.
You're basically getting an entire creative agency right in your browser, even if you can't draw a stick figure or have never touched a professional mic in your life. With Canva AI, you simply type out what you want and it generates stunning marketing materials, pitch-perfect investor presentations, and beautiful logos.
And for audio, when you need a professional voiceover for a podcast or a customer support line, ElevenLabs creates astoundingly natural, human-sounding AI voices. It saves you days of recording time, endless retakes, and completely wipes out the need to rent an expensive studio. All right, let's talk about automation and private infrastructure. This is how you build an autopilot business.
Let's look at the absolute magic of workflow automation with a tool called N8N. Imagine a potential customer submits a contact form on your website at 2 in the morning. Instead of you waking up, brewing coffee, and doing manual data entry, N8N triggers a flawless chain reaction. It perfectly saves their details, instantly fires off a warm welcome email, meticulously updates your Google Sheets, and simultaneously pings your sales team on Slack to follow up. 4 critical business actions executed instantly with 0 manual work. It is breathtakingly efficient.
But wait, what if your business deals with highly sensitive, confidential information? Well, that brings us to a vital concept for 2026, local AI. This means running these powerful models directly on your computer's own hardware. You aren't sending your confidential client lists or proprietary code out into the ether of some external cloud service. For businesses handling medical, legal, or financial data, understanding local AI isn't just a neat trick, it's an absolute necessity and a massive competitive advantage. To build this secure infrastructure, we look to our final 2 tools. First is Ollama. Ollama is the bridge that lets you effortlessly run those local AI models entirely on your own machine, keeping your data totally locked down. Then, for the building and testing phase, you have Google AI Studio. This serves as a completely free sandbox environment. And why is a sandbox so valuable? Because it means you can make mistakes, test wild prompts, and experiment with the absolute latest models with 0 financial risk. You can even build custom applications tailored just for your workflow without paying a single dollar in developer fees. Finally, embracing the future. Let's talk about your next steps. The absolute most crucial takeaway from our source material today is this. The key isn't using every tool. The key is choosing the right tool for the right task. It is so incredibly easy to let this massive technological landscape overwhelm you. So please, hear this. You do not need to implement all 10 of these tools by tomorrow morning. That's just a recipe for burnout. Simply start with 1. Pick the single tool that solves your biggest headache right now. Learn how it fits into your daily routine, experience that first major win of getting your time back, and then gradually expand your toolkit.
Businesses that embrace this invisible workforce today are going to be vastly more productive, significantly more competitive, and infinitely better prepared to scale. Taking that very first step is everything. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look back at the daily grind of your business. Which specific free tool from today's explainer are you going to implement right now to stop drowning in manual work and start truly scaling? Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and we'll see you in the next one.